Okay, so it's day 2 of Handmade Festival, and we're upstairs here in Firebug with Johnny the Foreigner. Right, guys. So we got Alexi. No, I'm getting mixed up.
That was right.
You were right.
I was right, Alexi, wasn't I?
You were right, yeah.
Alexi Jr., Lewis, and Kelly. How are you guys? You alright?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
As first one, we'll start off by asking about your name. Is there someone xenophobic in the band?
That's all of us. Just like every race. We hate them all.
So where did the name actually come from then?
It's just like a phrase that kind of like my granddad's generation always used to use, and like the Johnny Foreigner that they were kind of referring to, like we're from Birmingham, so the Johnny Foreigner that they were kind of referring to is like the big influx of like the Asian population. And then like kind of like years later when I grew up and I'm living in the same area, that same Johnny Foreigner is like part of the community, like the same people that all these guys were like scared of are now the people that prescribe them their medicine and like drive them to the golf course and all that. So it's the idea that if we called ourselves that, then we were kind of like the outsiders, like we didn't really sound like any other band in Birmingham. So if we called ourselves Johnny Foreigner, then theoretically sooner or later we'd be integrated into the... You can see this is a pretty crap name to start and like,
I'll just go with the xenophobic thing.
yeah, it's probably easier.
So you were all in bands like before you started this one. What made you all come together?
I don't know.
I just remember, that's a nice studio, I'm going to go play there for a bit.
Something to do. It's just how
loads of free time on our hands though.
Yeah.
It's
It
very
just kind of
Any excuse to literally play, well, every day after work you just go to the studio for no reason.
So you met each other through the studio or like performing live shows with...
I actually started the band with a guy called Dan, and it was apparently meant to just do 4 shows with a 4-string guitar.
Oh God, I forgot about that. It was
And
like
then
a
I joined,
concept
and
band.
He left and Kelly joined, and then Lewis joined. It's just over 7 years.
So it's the inaugural Handmade Festival this year. Why did you guys like get involved? Were you contacted or was it something you wanted to do?
Yeah, John asked us if we wanted to play it. We played here last year, and we toured in October, and it was great, so we said yes. We'll say yes to anything. But like, it's nice to like come here where it's like a nice festival. Everyone seems kind of organised and on it. There's like a few bands that we're friends with playing. So.
Right, is there anyone you're looking forward to seeing them?
We missed Katie Marco today. We're playing with Tooth, my first Tooth. Everyone else is playing tomorrow, and we're playing a completely different side of the country tomorrow. But that's kind of like
It's the way it works.
festivals. Yeah.
So obviously you played a lot of festivals before. What's your favourite memory of any festival you've played? You can rack your brains.
Oh, loads.
You getting carried out at 2,000 trees?
Oh God, that was weird.
You might have to
That
elaborate.
was Banquet, was that
Was it-
Banquet?
yeah, it was Banquet.
Banquet.
It was
Big
Banquet,
It's
yeah.
just dived into the
Okay,
crowd
confused.
at the end. And you know, usually like you dive in the crowd and you like go around on people's heads for a bit and they put you like back at the front of the stage. These guys just like, it's about half a dozen of them, they just picked me and they just carried on walking, and we went out of the tent and just like I dropped the mic and stand, and like they were trying to take me back to the tent. At some point I was
Just
like,
watched him disappear.
guys,
Yeah,
this
it's
isn't
like-
cool.
Where did you end up?
Still in the middle of a field. Yeah.
Pretty much.
We just packed down on stage, sat in the field. My favourite memory was probably Summer Sonic in Japan, because like we're behind the curtains, there's no one there at all. We're like, oh great, come all the way to Japan to play to nowhere, and then 5 minutes later there's just thousands,
Yeah.
just all come like literally streamlined in there.
It was like
Last minute,
out of,
crazy.
was it Story Banquet or something?
Yeah.
I like Cape
It's like
Town.
that.
Cape Town was my favourite. So we had like
That's pretty good.
3 drummers and like 5 guitarists and like dancing girls on stage and like all these amazing projections. It was like,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, I think that's my favourite festival show we've done.
So you're all from Birmingham as well, if I'm right.
Yeah.
How did growing up there, because obviously Birmingham's got a really famous music scene, how did growing up there mould you into the band you are and make you different than
Trying to get out of the
somewhere
music
else?
scene. There.
Trying
Doing
to
anything you
escape.
can to play in a different city. I don't know, so.
So
You're
how
not
metal
really
though?
influenced by bands.
Yeah, but I
it's
guess
the
if you have
home
to
of
like metal,
but
yeah.
like the same with Black Sabbath, the same with Duran, all those bands, as soon as they made money, they got the fuck out of there. It's not the kind of city where you want to like make your mark and hang around and be like, yeah, famous Birmingham band, because it's a shithole.
Unless you're actually colour scene. Imagine they still sing.
Yeah.
That's your
Exactly.
whole fan base in Birmingham just gone there in one
They're
comment.
used
We've done
to
this.
it.
Yes, they usually agree.
They agree.
So, well, I also read in your blog, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of you wrote that you taught Madness's manager how to spell saxophone. Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true? How does he even how to spell it?
He just called me up. He was like, "Yo."
Can I just double check this?
I work for like a big merch company, so we do kind of like all the big bands that tour arenas and stuff like that. And we did a few Madness shows, and because they'd just done the Olympics, they had like a special saxophone, and it was on this like display case, and there's this beautiful display case that was just like on the end of a merch stand. And this guy just walked on the stand, and he was like their manager, and he was like walking around like inspecting everything. And I was like, "So what's the deal with the saxophone?" And he came over and we're looking at it, and I was like, "You know, you spelled saxophone wrong." He went, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "It's PH, not F." And he was like, "Let me make a call." And he was like, "Mick, how'd you spell saxophone?" "Oh, you're fucking joking. I've got to sign everything."
That's the whole career just gone and spelling it wrong the whole time.
That sign writer was out of
He
his...
thought he was playing something else.
Yeah.
So you've got this big European tour coming up next month. What can we expect after that?
After?
Recording.
Yeah.
New songs.
Yeah, loads of new
Yeah.
songs.
We were supposed to record like before we went away, but we just kind of wrote too many songs to be able to fit it in. But it's good. It's nice to have like a tour to kind of play them and see how they work out.
Yeah.
Chop and change them.
So when do you reckon like you'll debut any new material or release it?
We're playing it
Already
now.
playing
Yeah,
it.
we played quite a bit actually already.
I guess inside 2-3 months, however long like we record as soon as we get back. Another month after that, hopefully by August. But it just kind of depends. Maybe we'll write more stuff and end up doing a record. Maybe. I don't
So
know.
we'll see a new record by the end of the year.
Definitely.
Well,
Theoretically, the plan is for 2 more releases by the end of the year.
well, that being said, I've got a little present for you because no one goes away empty-handed. You can use it as album artwork. I don't know, but I drew a picture of your band, like 3 pictures. So we've got a condom, also known as a Johnny,
Yeah.
plus a foreigner who's French.
That's
Right.
nice.
Sound French. And
That's,
then obviously the ER in case you choose to work.
that's what the
Johnny
first album
Foreigner.
artwork was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Decided.
feel free. That's
Let's
yours.
say-
You can have that now. That's
Alright.
amazing for
I
you.
think the artist should have it. It's inspiration for you, dude.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
But if I
awesome.
don't see that on the next album, I will be a little bit upset.
Okay.
Nothing personal, but I'll be a bit upset.
I am French.
Never, like, prophylactics and casual racism, that's our band.
Well,
Thank you.
cheers, guys. Enjoy your show later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much, man.